Welcome to the Lowdown Show, and today I'm going to be reviewing the movie Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Now, this is going to be the last movie review I do. It's so fitting because when I started this movie review channel, the first trailer reaction or trailer review I did was on Rogue One, and I'm definitely a Star Wars fan, and this was a Star Wars film I wanted to see. And I want you to know this is a spoiler review, a total spoiler review. And if you don't want to be spoiled, go watch the movie and come back. Or if you want to hear my thoughts in my review and you want to be spoiled, go ahead and stay. But this is a spoiler review. I'm warning you now. Now I went and I took my son to go watch this, and we went and saw The Force Awakens last year, and with my dad as well. So that was pretty cool, kind of like the regeneration, going to see Star Wars last year. But this year it was just my son and I to go see Rogue One, and this definitely a different kind of Star Wars film. It's supposed to be a spin-off, kind of a solo film or anthology film or whatever you want to call it. It had nothing to do with the Skywalkers point of view. I mean, it's about the Force, and it's about the Rebels, and it's about the Empire. But those aspects are in a different light. If you know, it's the beginning of before Princess Leia gets those plans and puts it in the R2-D2 in the New Hope. Remember that? So they're telling the story of that crawl text that came down. That crawl that came down, it says, a band of rebels, spies, had their first victory and obtained the plan to the Death Star. Basically, that's the story they're telling. They're putting it on the big screen. So they started at the beginning, and this movie went by fast. I mean, I know it was like over 2 hours, but to me, it went by really fast. I mean, there's so much going on. I know some people were complaining, or just wasn't feeling the beginning, kind of slow in the middle, but it went by real fast for me. I mean, I enjoyed all the storyline, the action. I also want to say that it was recommended to read the Catalyst, and unfortunately, wasn't able to see or read Catalyst, but I was able to listen to some reviews of people who have read the book, so that definitely gave some more insight in the characters of Jyn Erso and Galen Erso and Lara Erso, and also Director Krennic. And so I was able to kind of follow along a little bit of their character a little bit more, and it impacted me pretty good. Right away, they started off with the beginning, no opening crawl, and they made the very, very very clear, and then I wasn't a big fan of that Rogue One graphics. That kind of jarring. That was kind of jarring as well. But they did pan up, obviously, like every Star Wars movie does. And like I said, the beginning was pretty good. When Krennic comes to I'm not sure where that's Coruscant or somewhere to find Galen Erso. Find out that he's a farmer, and basically bullying him to finish the Death Star, and Jyn Erso going to hide out in a secret place that they planned. It was like obviously like a drill for when they were discovered. This is what you do: run out to this little area, and Jyn Erso's mom died. I mean, Krennic basically killed her, and then took Galen Erso, and that was pretty sad. I mean, then you see the little girl Jyn Erso going into the little hiding spot. And then I felt bad. I mean, she was in there and trying to start a little fire or light. And I don't know how long she was in there until Saw Gerrera came and picked her up. So that was pretty crazy. And then right away, we find out, years later, she becomes an adult. She's been captured a few times by the Empire. The rebels come, they free her. They were looking for her, and then they got her because they were looking for Jyn Erso. And I then picked that up till later, but there was a big plan to get her because there was a message from a pilot, Brody, the defector of the Empire, and it was getting an Erso message to the rebellion, and also Cal Guerrero. He was like an extremist, he was in the Clone Wars. And he was trained by Anakin, if you've seen that episode. And he looks totally different now, obviously. I mean, he was kind of kooky, kind of weird, but I kind of bought it because, this guy's been through a lot. I mean, he started the rebellion. He started, not the rebellion, but the schemes, kind of more extreme. If you've seen that in the Clone Wars and kind of what he's become now, totally just doesn't trust anybody. And I thought that was a pretty good portrayal. I mean, he wasn't in there that long. I mean, only the first half, the beginning parts. But man, I mean, the action was going by fast, like I was saying. I mean, it's 2 hour movie, but it flew by that pretty quick. And one of my favorite characters definitely Cassian. Man, the actor, Diego, what's his name? Diego Luna, what's his name? Diego Luna. Yeah, he was doing good, man. He acted pretty good. I mean, you didn't see his background like he did Jyn Erso, but you can definitely feel his pain and his conviction and his conscience weighing on him for so long of being with the rebellion and doing things that he knows he probably don't want to do, but he kind of suppressed it. And I mean, the more I think about it, I think he would have done the right thing hadn't he not known that was Jyn Erso's dad that actually did made the plan to a way to destroy the Death Star. If he didn't get that information, and it was just straight from the general saying, "Hey, you need to kill Galen Erso." And I mean, he did. He was ready, like a soldier, like a rebellion. And obviously, he got a little bit of information from Jyn Erso, and he had to trust her and believe her. He said, "Hey, she said she saw a hologram saying that his dad wasn't for the Empire, but had a revenge against them." So that was pretty cool. I kind of like that part. Jyn Erso, I like her too. She was really good. She, Felicity Jones, she was a really good actor. I mean, the emotional parts were when she was looking at the hologram of her dad, and then another one where she meets up with her dad. Her dad dies on that platform. Yeah, those were pretty emotional scenes. Let me see who else. The robot, K2SO, is that his name? Yeah, he was pretty funny. I mean, but he did do his job. I mean, he's pretty loyal droid, that was reprogrammed by Captain Cassian. And he did pretty good, He was the one that kind of, I got taken out at some parts, like, oh yeah, this is a Star Wars film. But when he was doing all that programming and finding all the locations on that base, it had that R2D2 kind of what do you call it, plug-in. I was like, oh yeah, this is Star Wars, So that kind of brought me back. I mean, cause the score, yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the score. I mean, I wish they would have put more Jedi themes in it and more Empire themes. But I mean, the chase scenes where they were on Jeddah at the very beginning, and they were ambushed kind of, and and the score started to pick up. It kind of a little bit of Star Wars, so it wasn't too bad. But also, like I said, I wish there were more of the John Williams score in there. oh, you got Donnie Yen's character. He was pretty cool. I'm with the force is with me. I'm with the force. What he kept saying. I thought it was pretty cool. I was surprised they talked about Jedi a lot. That name drop. Really piqued my interest a lot. Man, that was pretty cool to see. He and Jen Erso knowing about the kyber crystal that powers lightsabers. She probably got that from her mom. So that was cool. So they kind of had a relationship there, and the Jeddah, that temple place, the old temple place. That was a pretty cool place. It was very beaten down, like a war zone, as Jen Erso says in the movie. I really like that place. I wonder if they'll reference it at all in the other films. But all in all, man, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. It was from start to finish. I'm trying to think what else was going on there. The Darth Vader. Let's go to Darth Vader. I mean, that was cool, that castle. I hope they give a little bit more background on that castle. I know it was in the comics that Darth Vader lived in the castle, and that was kind of crazy that director Krennic. Let's talk about him. I thought he was gonna be really menacing, but he kind of was a pawn and kind of like a kind of sympathized with him, like even though he was with the wrong group, the Empire, but he was trying to work his way up there, but there was no way. He even tried to talk to Tarkin. Tarkin pretty much shut him down and said, oh, thanks for the help. I'm going to take all the credit. So then he tried to go to Vader, and Vader was just like, you're not get anything out of me. I know you're a troublemaker, and you better just watch yourself. Basically what Vader said. And it was kind of jarring when Vader was talking a little bit more, having like more of a conversation. Took me out a little bit. And that choking scene was pretty cool. People kind of didn't really like that pun he made, but it was real quick. It didn't really bother me at all. Definitely, the Emperor, his name was dropped a few times. It would have been cool to see him, but not really. We already have Vader, but I'm glad his name was name dropped a lot. So that was a good way to tie in New Hope. And speaking of tying in New Hope, yeah, man, that the last 30 minutes of that film was just non-stop action. The whole band, the whole Rogue One came together. They basically did their part. I keep thinking of the pilot. Brody. He definitely stepped up to the plate, even though he was, by all means, he had an excuse, to be kind of shaky and kind of, he deflected from the Empire. So definitely, he knows a lot of people are trusting in him. But he had a good scene right before he died. He did his part. Man, it was so much action. If you see the movie, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, everybody just dies in a heroic way, doing their part. From Donnie Yen to his friend to the robot. K2SO. Got his name. I hope I'm getting it right. Man, he was a comic relief, and then he got also the one that was kind of like, hey, it's not a good idea, but I'm kind of programmed to do whatever you say. And got shot in the back like a whole bunch of times, and he even said goodbye. So I was like, oh man. So that was pretty emotional a little bit. People were saying that was like the most emotional death. I was like, oh man. When he said goodbye, it was like, wow. Like I said, this was a spin-off from the Saga films. Bob Iger said it himself. It was kind of an experiment. So it was totally a different direction of the regular Star Wars films. And I think it was pretty good. I'd have to watch it on DVD a few more times and find all the Easter eggs and kind of see how it connects and definitely connect to New Hope because you got Princess Leia at the very end, and to comment on the CGI Tarkin and Leia, I didn't think it was too bad. Tarkin a little bit, you started to see he looked a little different as the scenes went on, but it didn't bother me as much. The Vader scene, that was pretty cool. I wish it was a little bit longer. I mean it was really fast. I mean, all the rebels pretty much got slaughtered. Almost reminded me of the Lord of the Sith, that book. I didn't read it all, but I listened to the audio Bible. I listened to the audio of it. Kind of the maybe like 5 chapters, and they definitely made him like a what do you call it, like a horror monster. Like, this is Vader, the myth, the legend, the terrorizer. And it definitely came from the page of Lord of the Sith, and yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, I wish there was more of it, but all in all, I'm gonna have to give you my grade. I would say B plus. I want to watch it again. Yeah, only a B plus, and I'm a big Star Wars fan. But yeah, like there were some things that weren't Star Wars, what do you say, kind of Star Wars feeling, but there's definitely elements of it. I mean, like I said, Jedi, the name Jedi, Kyber Crystal, the Rebels, Alliance, all that stuff, it definitely had the Star Wars storyline in it. But yeah, I enjoyed myself. It was fast paced. Like I said, the DVD, hopefully it comes out. I'm going to watch it a few more times. But I'm glad I saw it, I mean, it was the end of the year film, definitely. And let me know what you guys think. You saw the movie or not. Leave a comment down below, and I'll see you again. Bye.